So hello and welcome everyone. I'm so happy that you all wanted to join together today and learn about Autism Campus Prep. I'm Sarah, like Joette mentioned. I work at the Sinneave Family Foundation in Calgary as a project management associate. So at Sinneave, our aim is to improve outcomes in education, employment, and independent living for youth and adults with autism. Autism Campus Prep was one of our initiatives last year that we developed to assist individuals with autism to gain a better understanding of what attending a post-secondary school or a training institution will look like for their life. So today we'll be reviewing this free course, where it is, how you can access it, what it covers, and how it may help you on your journey. So some background of the course here. It was initiated by Dr. Caitlin Lowe, and she compiled a group of 6 advisors who have autism. And these people were either currently in post-secondary or they had graduated, and they were either in their undergraduate degree, their master's degree, or they were getting their PhD. So we have a wide spectrum of experiences. So we all came together, myself, Kaylin, and this group, and we brainstormed on what could be included in this course. We gathered real life quotes and videos from the advisors, and I compiled it together into this online course. So the group's vision was really to create a free, accessible course compiled from their firsthand learnings throughout their training program. So important lessons they learned along the way, what they had wished they had known prior to starting, prior to graduating. Yeah, so it's a hub for their personal experiences and broad level information that is good to know, about the changes that post-secondary will entail. So as you know, there are many new academic, social, and personal changes that can occur during this phase of life. And we wanted this all to be available in one easy to access place. So before you actually get in the course and view it, you'll need to make an account on Aid Canada. So in case you haven't heard of them before, they are Canada's autism and/or intellectual disability knowledge exchange network. You can access them at aidcanada.ca. They're funded by the Public Health Agency of Canada. And this is a tool that is used to connect the community to reliable, evidence-informed resources. So to register for the course, you can click on the sign in button on the upper right-hand corner of the screen. And then it'll take you to this next page. To make an account, you click this small text right here that says sign up now. And all they ask for when you register is your email address, you create a password, and your first name and last name. So it's really simple. They don't ask for too much information. So I'm going to give you guys a brief 10-minute overview of the course. And I'm really hoping that this will help you or your loved ones feel more confident in taking this next step. And of course, I'll be happy to answer any questions at the end. So like I mentioned, the advisory team was made up of people from various educational backgrounds. And this was designed to be inclusive for people who will be attending college, university, polytechnics, trade schools, any post-secondary training program. Each module covers various topics. We have quotes from our advisors, videos from our advisors, and external parties who work at universities, like in the Accessibility Center. All information I thought was valuable and should be in this course. So let's get into it. So program selection. This was our first module. It starts with discovering your strengths and interests and how expanding on this knowledge can help you pick a program that aligns with you. And it's going to help you do better when the times get tough. You know, if you're really interested in your program, that makes the whole journey much easier. And this knowledge will inform course selection, the types of educational institutions that you look at. We also cover like admission requirements, sources of program funding, the difference between taking full-time, part-time studies and what that can mean for you, and what to consider really when you prepare for a budget or prepare to create a budget. We included a second module because quite a few of our advisors, they did identify as being disabled. So we have disability supports here. In the last few years, post-secondary institutions have funded many accessibility supports for students who require classroom or virtual classroom supports. So these accommodations or these areas on campus, they may show up as a disability services office, an accommodations office, and they're really important places to contact by email, by phone, before you have your first class. There's paperwork that needs to be done, and it can take some time to process. Accessing these supports really help you do your best work. As a person who used them during post-secondary, I can tell you I would not have been able to do my best and to feel as good about my efforts as I did. So I highly recommend it. So our next module, campus safety, it covers a wide range of subjects. Most importantly, what campus security does and when to contact them versus the police. Like, what do you do if you're being bullied, you know? Also campus code of expectations, which is quite important. It's academic, social expectations that staff, students, and faculty need to adhere to. And we also talk about what can happen if they aren't adhered to. An important part of post-secondary is really advocating for yourself or learning to advocate for yourself and your needs. This module, it increases knowledge on how to potentially disclose to friends, instructors, or staff and faculty, like in the accommodations office. So through this module, we are gaining a better understanding on what your specific accommodation needs are. We have 3 videos from our advisors, one of them from a woman who works at the accommodations office at Kaplan University. Personalized tips on how to self-advocate, reviewing what ableism is and what do you do if you encounter that in school, as well as tips for communication or communicating with instructors, other students, staff, faculty, and the like. The next module, social life. This was really important for us to include because the transition to post-secondary life includes a lot of excellent opportunities to meet like-minded people and learn about yourself in new contexts. These opportunities to meet others with shared interests can happen in student clubs, activities, even in your class. So this module, we also go over like social media, romantic relationships, intersectional identities, and importantly, we cover masking or camouflaging and how it affects you and how you can avoid it if you choose to do so. So this is the longest module by far. I think rightfully so. The academic strategies, These will help you identify strategies to effectively manage your time and be successful in the program that you choose. So we start off at the beginning here with orientation and how important that is in kind of getting a good foundation on, finding where your classrooms are, knowing what the buildings are, where the supports like writing supports, tutoring, networks, physical health and mental health centers on campus. So the transition to school, it can bring a lot of new challenges. So like scheduling your time between classes, personal life, volunteering, or a part-time job, if you do that. Dealing with and overcoming stress, like the stress from a heavy course workload, or maybe even the bright lights and the noises in the hallways and the classrooms, helping you deal with the sensory overload. And I think really importantly, we also talk about study skills and how to find a good study space on campus. So we included life skills because the change to post-secondary, a lot of people tend to either like move on to campus, maybe they have to move out of province, across the country for their schooling. You may need to learn some new life skills during this part. So this will give you an overview, how to handle your money, how to do laundry, either finding healthy food on campus or making it yourself, and the housing options on and off campus. So all of that being said, your personal well-being is of optimal importance during your post-secondary life and beyond. So this module gives an overview of how you can elevate your personal or your physical and your mental well-being. Areas like nutrition, recreation, how to fit little like recreation breaks in between your classes, building a support network that can help you during those difficult times, stressful days. And then we have our final module. It's called Next Steps. So this module covers, sorry, let me back up. This module discusses how post-secondary is just one of the first steps on the path to your future goals. So maybe your future entails starting like an internship or a practicum program. We cover like resume writing and building your cover letter, how to apply for positions, volunteer or job positions. Or maybe you want to go to graduate school, get your master's or your PhD. We cover that, what to do, how to connect with your professors, what questions to ask. This is entirely optional. All of these modules, you can just jump around. You don't have to do it in a sequential order. So that really helps. If you're not interested in any of this, you can just skip it. So before we released the course, we tested it with the close contacts of our advisory team. This pilot team were also students in Canada and the USA from universities and colleges. Their feedback was great. I was really happy to see it. Overall, people thought it was informative and helpful. It was knowledge that they wished that they had prior to starting themselves. So I have three of the quotes up here on the screen. So I do want to say, before we get to questions, we weren't able to include everything that we wanted to in the course. We didn't want to throw out a 10-hour program and ask people to complete it because we all have time demands on our life. This is a brief a brief course that will give you a high-level overview of what it's great to know before you start on campus. We thought it was a good starting off point, including valuable information for students who are thinking of starting their education journey. We really hope that if you decide to take this course, it'll assist you in navigating the new academic and social experiences that you may encounter, and that you will be self-determined, resilient, and resourceful throughout the process. So thank you guys for being a great audience. If you have questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Thanks so much, Sarah. This is an amazing program, and my son said the same thing. I wish it had been available when I was in university. So let's hope that going forward with this information out there, more people will struggle less.
I had a question. Hello, I'm Esther.
Hi, Esther, go ahead.
Hi. I was wondering, how long is the course and how much does it cost?
The course is completely free. All you need to do to access is register on aidcanada.ca. And if you do it all in one go, it can probably take 3 to 4 hours, but we do recommend taking breaks, maybe like an hour tops at one time. You can exit the course and come back in, but you'll just need to note where you left off, because the program will just put you on the main home screen.
Once people are aware of this program, how do you encourage, inspire adults to take advantage of it? That's usually when they start a post-secondary program, they're excited about the in-person live experience, and it's only after things have gone a little bit sideways that they might look at something like this. I'm wondering if there's a way to get ahead of that and encourage them to take this, to do this program as they start.
Right. So we've connected with the University of Calgary's neurodiverse, it's an area of the wellness area, the university. So we've connected with them, and they are giving out information about Autism Campus Prep in the orientations, as well as the neurodiverse orientation that they offer. And we will be branching out to connect with other colleges, universities, and other training programs across the country.
Kathy, can I ask you if we could do something similar here, where we put knowledge of this program in the hands of post-secondary advisors?
I am listening. So it's so interesting to me, Sarah, because Jody knows I teach in a course at Kaplan University, a program where we try to convince young people to spend a year with us and find their feet on campus. And often our students might be on the spectrum of autism. And we do try to incorporate some of the things you're talking about. But I think this course would be so great for any student that might register with our accessibility department, to be really encouraged to take this course. I was actually going to email you after and ask you about how we could connect at Kaplan University with this kind of thing. I think it's so smart for people to be prepared, instead of, like you said, Jody, when we meet students that often, you know, they're accepted right away, of course, to the university, and then they flail around a little bit, and it would be great to give them these tools before they start that.
Louvain has a question.
Effectively. And I'm wondering, would it be worth extending some, if not all of the modules to young people who are graduating in the last stages of graduation from school?
I think that's a great point. Yeah, we do want to extend this to high school students, maybe even grade 11, because during that last year, you may need to take a Science 30 or a pure math instead of an applied math. I don't know if those are the same out in BC, but different levels of the curriculum. Definitely, it's very important. I forgot to mention, but one of the individuals who piloted the program was a grade 10 student. And we wanted a little bit of feedback from a younger individual. And he was saying, this is amazing. You know, I learned so much. It may have been a little overwhelming at the time because it's all these new things that he had never thought of, but extending our reach to younger audiences is a really important point.
Yeah, I think that if I may just add a comment, that it's probably a vital part of the whole transition program, particularly for people who want to go on with their education, but also for many others, maybe in a modified form. And I was wondering, have you thought of contacting the counselors in some of the high schools in your area to get input from them?
Yes, we had thought of that, but with this extra push, I will contact them myself.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you for that.
I see absolutely where Louvain is going with this. And I see so many aspects of this program that really are about, you know, transitioning and independence to adulthood that are, that would include, but are beyond post-secondary education. And so, for example, a lot of the content of the academic strategies is useful. Time management, working with colleagues, all of those kinds of issues that people struggle with that would be of general interest, I think.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not just a program that will help you in post-secondary. I think it's a very well-rounded program for your time in post-secondary and beyond.
You did describe, Sarah, that it was intended as an overview, an introduction to all of these aspects, because you didn't want to overwhelm people with a huge course in addition to starting a university program.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. It's a starting off point, and hopefully we will be able to organize and compile maybe a more in-depth course. We still have that advisory group going on, and this is another idea I can pitch to them.
Are they presented, are the modules presented in the way you thought would be most effective, or does it really not matter what you do first?
So we presented the modules in order that we thought made most logical sense. So selecting your program and your school first, and then some more of the soft skills like well-being and life skills are closer to the end. But when you log on, you can see the list of them. And if you click program selection, you'll then see all of the topics arranged, and you can click on whichever one is of interest to you. On that page, after you're done reading, you can click next and just go to the next topic, or you can revert back to the main page and kind of click around as you want.
And can you save your results? Can you go back and revisit modules or anything like that?
Yeah, so with your account, you can sign in whenever. It will save, like if you finish the course, you get a certificate. It'll save that on your account, but the program does not remember where you left off. So it'll bring you to the main area, and you'll need to kind of jot down where you ended off.
Okay.
My name is Miriam, yeah, I guess, have we lost the woman who was talking about the Kaplan University course?
No, that's Kathy Moscrip.
Okay, I was just going to ask her if she could put the name of that program on the chat or something. In case.
Yes, I will.
Okay, thank you. And then my question is, what kind of interface or what kind of format is used for the course? Like, is it something that would be easy to absorb for people who don't do well with auditory processing, or who can't read a lot at one time or something? Like, is it in a very accessible sort of format?
Yes, so we wanted to keep the amount of reading minimal. So we did like I said, like a high level, but it was designed to be accessible for like younger people. Mm-hmm.
And is it both audio and visual?
The videos, we have transcripts and closed captions, but the text is not audio. No, not yet. But we are transitioning this course from Aid Canada to our new learning management system over at Sinneave, and we will be able to add audio at that point. We're upgrading, as you could say, our learning management system. So.
Oh, I just want to add that my grandson is really, really struggling now, his first time on a campus. I really wish we'd had this before. I don't know. I don't know if it's too late now or not.
I would encourage you, it's not too late. You know, the most important thing is trying to keep him calm and keep his self-confidence up. And that we found is bolstered by success, small incremental successes. And so, but you do see change, and you do see that people, their skills, they're just skills, and that once the knowledge is there and they can incorporate some of these skills and they're presented to them in a way that makes sense for their learning style, then you will see change.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for the encouragement.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I just wanted to add on to that, because my son just started post-secondary as well, and I'm planning to, because we are still working with our SLP that he's been working for the past several years. And I found this very, very helpful for him for the transitioning into post-secondary. But I will definitely forward this presentation to to our SLP as well, because I think that's a very good tool for him to work with my son. So yeah, I think that's a wonderful little presentation for sure.
Excuse me, what is an SLP?
Speech and language pathologist.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you so much, Esther, as well. I'm glad to hear that you think it'll be helpful. And we just want to get the word out on this, right? It's we have a small budget for marketing this, so we're just connecting with individuals in the community, professionals, families, people themselves on the spectrum. So every little bit helps.
Thanks so much, Sarah. This has been really informative. Oh, Louvain has a question.
I just wondered where you went to get the information and whether you looked at some of these successful programs that are already working in the United States in a fuller form.
So we didn't look at those year-long courses, but there were some evidence-informed courses that were in PDF form that we definitely took a look at as kind of like some references that we used when putting this together.
Well, I think it's important for Canadians to know that programs like this, maybe not exactly the same, like, do exist and are apparently effective, if somewhat expensive in the US.
Yeah, and just to reiterate, ours is 100% free. We wanted it to be accessible and yeah, be able to be shared with everyone. Thanks, Louvain.
Thank you so much, Sarah. It's been, as I said, really informative and really encouraging that something like this, so accessible and affordable, is available to us. Thanks for spreading the word. We really appreciate you coming to speak to us today. And thanks everyone for attending.